unification of Germany in 1871 was one of the most significant events in European history, reshaping the political landscape of the continent. Before unification, the German territories were fragmented into numerous independent states, with Prussia and Austria being the most dominant. The process of unification was largely driven by Otto von Bismarck, the Prussian chancellor, whose political philosophy of Realpolitik, a pragmatic, power-driven approach to diplomacy, played a crucial role in achieving this goal. Through a series of strategic wars, diplomatic maneuvers, and nationalist fervor, Bismarck successfully united Germany under Prussian leadership, culminating in the proclamation of the German Empire in 1871. This essay explores Bismarck's use of Realpolitik and the key events that led to the birth of a unified Germany. The state of Germany before unification. Before unification, Germany was a patchwork of over 300 states within the Holy Roman Empire, which had existed for centuries until its dissolution in 1806 during the Napoleonic Wars. In its place, the Congress of Vienna, 1815, established the German Confederation, Deutscher Bund, a loose association of 39 independent states dominated by Austria and Prussia. Despite sharing a common language and culture, these states lacked political unity. The rivalry between Austria and Prussia prevented any significant progress toward a unified Germany. Economic cooperation, however, began to take shape through the Zollverein, German customs union, established in 1834 under Prussian leadership. The Zollverein facilitated economic integration and strengthened Prussia's influence, laying the groundwork for future unification. Meanwhile, nationalist sentiments grew across the German states, fueled by Romanticism and the revolutionary movements of 1848. However, the revolutions of 1848 failed to achieve national unity, reinforcing the idea that only strong leadership could bring about unification. Otto von Bismarck and Realpolitik. Otto von Bismarck, who became Prussia's minister-president in 1862, was the mastermind behind German unification. A staunch conservative, Bismarck opposed liberalism and democracy, but recognized the importance of nationalism as a unifying force. His political philosophy, Realpolitik, emphasized pragmatic, results-oriented decision-making rather than ideological commitments. He famously declared that not by speeches and majority votes are the great questions of the time decided, but by iron and blood. This statement highlighted his belief that military force and strategic diplomacy were necessary for achieving German unification. Bismarck's approach involved three key elements. 1. Strengthening Prussia's military. He defied the Prussian parliament to fund military reforms, ensuring that Prussia had a well-equipped and disciplined army. 2. Isolating Austria diplomatically. He maneuvered to reduce Austrian influence in Germany, positioning Prussia as the leader of German affairs. 3. Using warfare strategically. He engaged in calculated wars to achieve unification step by step, ensuring that each war strengthened Prussia's position. The Wars of Unification. Bismarck's Realpolitik led to three major wars that ultimately resulted in German unification. 1. The Danish War, 1864. The first step toward unification was the conflict with Denmark over the duchies of Schleswig and Holstein. These territories had a mixed German and Danish population, and their status was a source of contention. When Denmark attempted to fully integrate Schleswig into its kingdom, Bismarck formed an alliance with Austria to declare war on Denmark. The war lasted only a few months, ending in Danish defeat. Prussia took control of Schleswig, while Austria administered Holstein. Although this war seemed like a simple territorial dispute, Bismarck had a larger plan to use the situation to provoke conflict with Austria and establish his dominance in Germany. Number 2. The Austro-Prussian War, 1866. Tensions between Prussia and Austria escalated over the administration of Holstein. Bismarck, anticipating a conflict, secured neutrality from France and Italy and sought alliances with smaller German states. In 1866, Prussia declared war on Austria in what became known as the Austro-Prussian War or the 7 Weeks' War. Prussia's superior military, led by General Helmuth von Moltke, swiftly defeated Austria at the Battle of Königgrätz. The war ended with the Treaty of Prague, which significantly altered the balance of power in Germany. Austria was excluded from German affairs. The German Confederation was dissolved. Prussia annexed several northern German states and established the North German Confederation under its leadership. Bismarck's Realpolitik ensured that Austria was not humiliated or weakened too much, preserving it as a potential ally for future diplomacy. 3. The Franco-Prussian War, 1870 to 1871. The final step toward unification was a war with France. Bismarck understood that a common enemy could rally all Germans behind Prussia. The opportunity arose when Spain sought a Prussian prince, Leopold of Hohenzollern, as its new king. France, under Emperor Napoleon III, opposed this move, fearing Prussian influence in Spain. Bismarck manipulated the situation by editing the Ems Dispatch, a diplomatic communication between King Wilhelm I and the French ambassador. This edited version made it appear as if the Prussian king had insulted France, provoking Napoleon III into declaring war. The Franco-Prussian War saw swift Prussian victories, culminating in the Battle of Sedan, where Napoleon III was captured. The war concluded with the Siege of Paris and France's surrender in January 1871. The Treaty of Frankfurt imposed harsh terms on France, including the annexation of Alsace-Lorraine by Germany, further fueling French resentment in the years to come. The proclamation of the German Empire. With France defeated, the final step of unification was completed. On January 18, 1871, in the Hall of Mirrors at the Palace of Versailles, King Wilhelm I of Prussia was proclaimed German Emperor, Kaiser. This moment symbolized the triumph of Prussia's vision of unification, bringing together 25 German states under the new German Empire, Deutsches Reich. The empire was a federal monarchy, with Prussia as its dominant state and Bismarck as its first chancellor. The impact of German unification. The unification of Germany had profound consequences for Europe and the world. 1. Shift in European balance of power. The emergence of a strong, united Germany altered the European power dynamic, making it a dominant force alongside Britain and France. French resentment and future conflicts. The annexation of Alsace-Lorraine created deep animosity between France and Germany, contributing to tensions that led to World War I. 3. Economic and industrial growth. A unified Germany rapidly industrialized, becoming one of the leading economic and military powers of the late 19th century. 4. Rise of German nationalism. The success of unification strengthened nationalist sentiments, shaping Germany's identity and its role in future conflicts. Bismarck's later foreign policy aimed to maintain stability through a complex system of alliances, but the foundations laid by his Realpolitik eventually contributed to the militarism and competition that led to World War I. The unification of Germany was a remarkable achievement driven by Otto von Bismarck's strategic use of Realpolitik. Through calculated wars, diplomatic maneuvering, and nationalist sentiment, Bismarck successfully brought together the fragmented German states under Prussian leadership. The creation of the German Empire in 1871 marked the beginning of a new era in European history, reshaping the continent's political landscape. However, the methods used to achieve unification, especially the wars and territorial disputes, planted the seeds of future conflicts, demonstrating both the power and the risks of Realpolitik in international affairs.